name is Precious Chidera Okafor. The daughter of Prophet Dr. Chris Okafor. One evening, he called me to his room that he wanted to speak to me. And after I went in, he was, standing behind the door. And then he locked the door and he said I should sit down. And I sat on his bed and he started speaking to me. He started telling me he loves me and he wishes that fathers could marry their daughters, that he would have gotten married to me. And that was when he started to touch me all over my body. And that was how we continued. On different occasions, he would call me. Like another time, he called me and then he locked the door again, and then he started trying to kiss me all over on my lips and all over my body. And it felt like I was.
Hey guys, my people, it don't read though. VeryDarkMan has scattered the internet as he releases the full evidence of Pastor Chris Okafor's daughters confessing how he used to nag them just few hours after Pastor Chris himself sued him to court for those short videos he released earlier this week. And guys, from what I heard in that video, all I can say is that some men are worse than the devil. You can't afford to miss this gist, guys. Meanwhile, thank you so much for stopping by my channel, fam. If you're new here, you're very welcome. Please kindly subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for latest gist and trending news as we continue to serve you with the latest. All right, so recall that earlier this week VeryDarkMan released some videos of Pastor Chris Okafor's daughters confessing some of the terrible things their father, Pastor Chris Okafor himself, used to do to them before and after he climbs the pulpit. You know, the video gathered a lot of reactions online with so many people dragging the hell out of the pastor. And guys, in a new development, the pastor has responded through his lawyers, and almost I am shocked to say the least. At first, his lawyer started by accusing VeryDarkMan of not having the decency to reach out to the pastor to hear his own side of the story first before publishing such malicious videos all over the internet, before they then proceeded to warn him not to try it again. In fact, they told him to pull down the video and stop defaming the pastor. But the one that shocked me the most is that this Pastor Chris Okafor didn't factually deny what the girls confessed to VeryDarkMan. His only argument was that the girls were not his daughters. Like he said, he is not their father, and that their mother got pregnant for another man whilst they were married. According to the lawyers, they said that the woman and Pastor Chris Okafor were married at some point, but their marriage was later dissolved over alleged infidelity on the part of the woman because the pastor did a DNA test and found out that the girls were not his daughters. And that got me thinking, so if they were not his daughters, is that the reason he should be sleeping with them at a tender age? Just hear from the horse's mouth, guys.
Or do you want our client as a pastor to start fighting? Or do you want our client as a man of God to start banding words with her and her cohorts in the social media? Knowing that some persons, some men of God, which will make available to you, which we are calling CAN and PFM to investigate, are pushing them so as to pull down his ministry. But we don't want to go into that. So we are going to police. Police now has advised that on that particular issue, none of the parties should make comment on it. And we decided and humbly respect the police and the security agents in that regard. And so as to allow the wisdom of the law to take full course in that respect. Now, it is, however, worrisome that while the above remains, and that is the issue of Doris Ogala was on, and remains inconclusive and under investigation, a disturbing and disparaging story began to make rounds in social media, setting the social media space agog and throwing blaze against the personality of our client, Senior Pastor Okafor. Now, our attention to that in that regard has been drawn in that the individual herself, the lady who introduced herself as Miss Chi Okafor. If you watch the clip where this issue were committed, she introduced herself as Chi Okafor. The reasons for that I don't know, and has presented herself online as the biological daughter of our client, Pastor Dr. Chris Okafor, making false and misleading claims regarding his personal life and family relationship, alleging abandonment and neglect of paternal responsibilities on the part of our client. Now, the lady in question came up and he made the statement that our client is her biological father and failed to take the responsibility of them. And we are saying that ordinarily our clients have decided long ago not to join issues, nor respond to any characterless, we call them people without character, jobless agents of destruction, in that our client is already aware of where they are coming from and those who are pushing them. So joining the issue with them will make them succeed by making to lose focus in his clergy work. So he decided not to respond to the false claim. Now, but to put record straight, we want to start by stating categorically and unequivocally that those claims as alleged by the so-called Ms. Chris Okafor are frantically untrue, misleading, malicious, inciting, injurious to the personality and the character of our client. What we are saying is that the lady in question is not a biological daughter of our client, and our client is not her biological father. I want this to everybody to understand it. But before we get into that properly, before we narrate the story properly, let us first of all inform you that the person who was carrying this story, who was one of the agents that they are using to show our clients, that is Mr. Vincent Martins Osi, popularly known as VeryDarkMan. A letter has been written to him. I'll make it available to you. A letter has been written to him because for using, our client has written a letter to him through a lawyer for using his social media handles such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., and continuously harass, defame, and incite members of the public against our client, and they threaten our client in the name of activism, just to destroy our client and his ministry.
As you can see, they sued VeryDarkMan and also demanded that he should take down the videos. And not just that, they also instructed him to desist from defaming the pastor. But they refused to speak on the allegations VeryDarkMan and the pastor's daughters raised. Instead, they were there saying that the daughters are not the pastor's children. Unfortunately for them, this time around they don't jam akpako, because at first, VeryDarkMan responded by sharing the video, telling them with his full chest that he will release the video and nothing will happen. And from the way he's laughing alone, you can tell evidence choke. And honestly, from what that girl confessed to VeryDarkMan in the video he later posted, hey, this pastor needs serious deliverance. In fact, he needs to be arrested. Just come down and watch the video, guys.
My name is Precious Chidera Okafor, the daughter of Prophet Dr. Chris Okafor. I used to live with him years ago, and I left around 2020. Yes, I left around 2020 because things were about to get out of hand. While I was living in the house, amongst all my siblings, I'm the only one from my mother, while the four of them are from a different mom. While I was living in the house, I used to get treated unfairly. Like, it was very, very visible, and even the workers in the house could see it. And one evening, he called me to his room that he wanted to speak to me. And after I went in, he was, standing behind the door, and then he locked the door and he said I should sit down. And I sat on his bed and he started speaking to me. He started telling me that he knows that I always feel bad because of how he treats me differently from my siblings. But he's only doing that because he loves me. And he wishes that fathers could marry their daughters, that he would have gotten married to me. And that was when he started to touch me all over my body. And in that moment, I was sitting very still and frozen because I could not really understand what was going on. And that was how we continued. On different occasions, he would call me. Like another time, he called me and then he locked the door again and then he started trying to kiss me all over on my lips and all over my body. And it felt like I was quiet for a long time because for me, as at that time, I was somebody that was so desperately seeking the validation of my father. I was alone in the house. I didn't have any siblings of my own. So the fact that he was, talking to me, at least like for me, all I was thinking about at that time was, okay, if this is going to at least make my dad talk to me, if this is going to make him treat me equally and fairly, then okay. And there was a day I had a terrible dream, and as a man of God that he is, I went to meet him so we would pray together. And that was the night that he almost penetrated me, but it didn't happen. I think he saw how scared I was and how I was sweaty and shaky on the bed, so he said I could leave, and I left. And that was when I was able to use a teacher's phone in school, and I decided to tell my mom about all that was going on. Then the next week or a few days after, she came to get me from the house, and that
Hmm.
was how I left.
How old were
And
you then?
um I was about 14, 15 years old at that time.
Wow. So when you told your mom, what did she do about it?
She cried so much, and she was serving at that time. She was in a, I think she was in a northern state, so she had to come back, like she had to calm down. And mind you, I don't know if I should put this out there, but he also forcefully had his way with my mom when she was 15. That was how she was pregnant. That
You
was how
raped,
she got pregnant.
you raped your mom?
Yes,
You were born out of
yes,
rape?
yes, out of wedlock, yes.
Ah.
When she was just 15, she used to attend this church and she was in the choir. So that was how he knew her, and that was how he raped her.
So who pays your school fees? Like who pays your school fees, saw you through school?
Presently, everything has been my mom. For since I left his house, I haven't spoken to him. He hasn't reached out. He tried to reach out once. He called me one evening, but he wasn't saying anything. Basically, he was sounding so prideful and asking me why I also did not reach out to him. That the phone works both ways, and the conversation did not lead anywhere. It was just that one call in the whole of 5 years, and that happened in the beginning of this year. That was when he tried to call me.
Does your mom try to go to him and take money from him for your upkeep or for your school fees?
Never, never. The only time she did that was when I was still with her before I fully moved in into my father's house. When I was with her and she would go to meet him that, oh, she wants to pay my school fees. She wants to do this for me. And she opened up to me last year that that the reason why she's so bitter towards my father is because he treated her like an object. Like all the times that she would come to the house to come and ask for school fees or ask for anything, he would try and try and try to have his way with her. Other times, I don't know. I don't want to say what I'm not sure of. I don't know if she agrees because she never said that, but she told me every single time she would go to try and get my school fees, he's always, always, always trying to have his way with her, and he's always forceful about it.
So anytime she goes to ask him for your upkeep, he tries to sleep with her, and sometimes he tries to even rape her.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
And while living in the house, countless times, even as a child, I did not really understand it. But growing up, I saw how that rejection made me feel. There are countless times he would take I and my sister Marachi to go and run DNA tests. And even if he runs the test and he sees that we are his children, he still tells people and just like says it that we are not his children for some reason. And I don't really know what his reason is. Tells everybody that, I'm not his child.
Wow. How old are you now?
I'm 20.
Okay. Anyways, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep in
All
touch,
right.
okay?
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, Barrister Masolopara, if you listen to this call that I had with this girl, now this call was on the 22nd of December at around 7:05 p.m. was when we had this call. Now, listen to it properly. What you are trying to use as a defense and as a damage control, the DNA test, that these are not his kids, he has been using it since against these kids. They have gone to do several DNA tests and he's their father, right? Now, I will ask you a question. Whether or not he's their father or not, let's leave that by the way. But how are you a pastor and a 14-year-old girl who is meant to be your daughter, whether not your daughter or not, but as a father, as an uncle, or whatever thing you be, or as a guardian, you carry her into your room and then you say you wish that father can marry daughters and you start kissing and touching her. Not just that, you almost penetrated the 14-year-old according to our testimony. And as a pastor, and in the defense, you are saying that she's not your daughter. Let's say she's not your daughter. First of all, it's an abomination, 14-year-old child, as a pastor and a man of God that you call yourself, and you climb on the altar. Now, you see, you have finally put yourself in the box, right? Your kids are available. You understand? Your kids are available. This case will be a very big case for the country, and people will learn. People will learn a lot. How these men of God take advantage of the vulnerable people, manipulate them, use them anyhow they like, you know. But your own, you had no limits. Now you say they are not your case. It's going to be a public case. So Barrister Masolopara, be prepared. These keys will be made available. Do you understand? They'll be made available. Heavy security is going to be a public case. They'll use a public hospital. Cameras everywhere. The DNA test will be conducted on all of them. Your wife might be present. Do you understand? The mother of the kids is still very much alive. This one that made this confession now, do you understand? It's the other ones, the one where we say you do before. According to her, she said the mother even told her that you do forceful entry on the mama when she did 15 years old. And you won't do the same thing to the daughter when she did 14 years old. May God forgive all of you. But then again, the DNA test will be done. Since that's what you want to use as a defense and as a damage control. You all will learn. You all will learn the hard way. Don't play.
More things they happen. To even think that another woman have wholeheartedly married this same man makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. At this point, I strongly believe the Christian Association of Nigeria needs to intervene because these allegations are too weighty to be swept under the carpet. It is well, please, if you watched up to this point, thank you so much, guys. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you believe what this girl said, or do you think they may be conspiring against the pastor, their father? Please do what to let me know as you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay beautiful and have a nice day. Thank you.